Hello everyone, this is Erlin from the Experience Research Lab. Today I'm going to show you how to transform a variable by recoding the variable into a different one. For your information, this procedure is only applicable if you have numeric or string variables and you want to reassign the values of the existing variables into the new variable. For your information, in the previous video, I have already walked you through a procedure of recoding a variable into the same one. With that procedure, you don't create any variable. Meanwhile, for this procedure of recoding a variable into a different one, you need to create a new variable by reassigning the values of the existing variables into the new one. The values of the existing variables can be any value, single value, range of values, or missing values. So to start with, I'll get my file by clicking File, Opened, Data. The file is in the same folder, Examples, with the file name profit.zap. I can see on my data view that there are three variables here: EMP2, industry, and profit. EMP2 is for the number of employees. It is numeric and use a scale measure. And if I press Ctrl N, I can see that there are 1,822 cases in my data. But there's something wrong here, because in the last case, for example, there is no value assigned to it. The same thing happens here in these four variables, in these four cases, and more cases are all the way up. So I'm curious how many cases actually don't have values, and to figure it out, I need to right click and click sort ascending. So apparently there are 927 cases that don't have values. Instead, they have dots here, which indicate either system missing value or user missing value. And I don't want to have any of these missing values in the variable that I want to analyze later. But I don't want to override the existing variable either. So for that reason, I need to create a new variable by reassigning the values of this variable, emp2, to the new variables. To do that, I need to click transform and recode into different variables. Here on the left on the left box, I have all the variables in my data: number of employees, industry, and estimated profit to the industry. And because I want to recode the number of employees, I click the variables and click the arrow button here. It is now moved to the right box, but I need to give a new name for the new variables. It is emp2 trans. Because SPSS doesn't allow me to use blank space or symbols for the variable name, I only use small letters and number here. But for the label, I can type the number of employees transform in bracket, and click change to apply the name. And to reassign the values, I click Alt and New Values. It is not a single value. It is either system missing value or user missing values. So to be safe, I click system or user missing value and click value here. It is 13. 13 is actually the mean that I obtained based from my descriptive analysis that you can see on the other video. And to add the value, I'll click add. So this is the instruction: recode all missing values into 13, while all other values will be kept as they are. So copy all values and add to this box. I don't want to have the output as string. I want to keep them as numeric, so I just click continue. And before I tell SPSS to recode the variable into a new one, I need to show you this if button that give you options to include all cases or those satisfy a particular condition. For example, If you want to include only cases that have more than 2 employees, for example, you can select number of employees and click the arrow button and click designed and 2. And to apply this condition, you can click continue, but for me I'll click cancel because I want to include all cases. So that's good to go. I click OK here, and this is the new variables created by SPSS by reassigning the values from EMP2 to EMP2 trans. As you can see here, in the first case, in the first variable EMP2, it doesn't have value, while in the fourth variables EMP2 trans, it has a value of 13. The same value is applied to all other cases that don't have values in the first variable EMP2. So it is up to case number 9 to 7 if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it is. So if I now sort the value, right click and sort ascending, I can see that the lowest value for the new variable EMP2 trans is 1 and the highest value is 95. So that's how you transform a variable by recording it into the different one. This way you can compare the difference between the existing variable to the new one. For more insights into how to into data entry, data transformation, data analysis, especially in SPSS, please subscribe, listen, and watch more. All content by Experience Research Lab is available in text, audio, or video format. So thank you for being with me today, and I'll see you next time on the next video. Cheers!